champions doing out there? I want everybody to know that if you are thinking bigger than yourself, then you are thinking like a champion. Today, I wanted to touch on why your time is so valuable. Okay, why your time is so valuable. It's so valuable because no matter who you are, how much money you have, how much homes you have, whatever you have, it's limited. And every day is limited. And as you become higher value, you'll really start to notice that, because everything that you try to do, the day only has so many hours. So there's a given that there's certain things that you will not be able to do today. You're going to have to push a little farther out, because you can only be at one place at one time. And you can only do so many things at one particular time. So that's why scheduling is so important. That's why understanding how to put yourself in a position to excel is important. So one thing that I was thinking of that will really help you figure that out is start looking at your return on investment for what you're spending your time on. Now, let's say you like playing NBA 2K, you like playing it, right? And you notice that, let's say it's 12 in the afternoon, and you notice that you didn't finish until 8 at night. So you couldn't organize your house, right? You couldn't clean out your refrigerator. You couldn't do videos for your business. Everything had to get put on hold because of this game. And you have to be thinking, are things like that worth it? Is it worth it to sacrifice these important tasks that lead to other types of success because you're doing something that is not bringing you any type of return? You have to be thinking like that. You have to be thinking that everything you're doing, what is the return on what you're doing? Is there some things there's no return, but how you have grown mentally from doing it and how it sets you up for the future help. But a lot of times playing a video game is just going to set you back. But for some people, it's therapeutic. Like they're forgetting about all their problems. So you have to discipline yourself to, okay, I could play one game or two max. Or if you really have a day where you haven't done it in a while, 3. You have to tell yourself, because each game takes about 45 minutes. So you do 3 games, 2.5 hours. Now those hours are gone, but you got it out your system. It's over. You can get to your other tasks. You have to really think like that, because if you get into a situation to where you play this all day, where literally you've invested 10 hours, well, now you can only, most people could really only be up for 16 hours. So now you only have 6 hours to accomplish everything else. And you got to remember, stores only open at a certain amount of times, right? We're in the middle of a pandemic. So every store's hours are cut. Some places have lines where you got to get in. You got to be thinking like that. You got to be thinking big picture like that, right? You might be needing to grow your business's Instagram account, ship orders, talk to your customers. There's so many positive things you could do that set you up for forever, but you're sitting there doing something that's not bringing you no return. I'm not saying don't do it at all if that's something that you love and you're passionate about, and how you and a family member, you and your kids bond. I'm not saying don't do it, but don't do it all day. Don't play these games all day if there's no return on what you're doing. Limit yourself to how much you're doing it. Don't do it all day. Just talk to yourself, give yourself some plans, some goals for the day. And if that's not getting you no closer to accomplishing your goals for that day, we have a limited time on this earth. Everybody, it's limited. It's a limited time for everybody. You're not going to have forever to go back and, okay, I can go back to that day and not play the game. No, that day's done. That day is written in stone. You can't adjust it. It's done. That's the end of it. I just want you to really prioritize your time better, how you use it, what you do, the things that you eat, the people you talk to, the appointments that you set up, your plans. If you have an opportunity to, okay, so you work a job, right? And there's overtime available. but you have your purpose to work on, and it's gonna set yourself up for life, then go do that. If you can afford to do both, but sometimes you might have to work overtime, and then on the weekends spend 16 hours. So half of that weekend is dedicated to your purpose. You're checking inventory, you're doing all this stuff, you're working on your purpose. You got to think about all that kind of stuff, right? That's what makes time that valuable, because it's all about what you put into it. You got to think about when you watching YouTube, or you're on Instagram, and you're looking at something, or any social media platform. The people that make this content has spent just as much time as you're watching it. They spent all that time producing it, and even longer, because they're editing it. They're thinking about just a whole bunch of other things, different people that they could collab with, different things they could do to make the video better. Some people make hours and hours of videos that they don't put out because of different reasons. They don't like the lighting, they don't like the collaboration, the person that they worked with, the situation soured, and they spent hours and hours and months and years working towards this collaboration. It didn't work out, but they still put the time and effort in to make their brand what it is. So, saying all that to say, use this time to create your brand. Why can't you make your brand? Why can't you do what you want to do? Yes, it's going to be people that don't like you and say bad things about what you're doing. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. Keep pushing forward. Keep staying focused on the things you need to do. It's worth it. Promise you it's worth it. And just keep going, and make sure your time is valuable. Wake up earlier if you can. If you can afford to wake up before 5 o'clock in the morning, it's worth it. You get a lot more done in a day. And in a month, you might add 2 to 5 more days than somebody else that's waking up at 10, 11, 12 o'clock. You've added days. All right, where you can get way more done just waking up early. So just think about that, right? Understand the value of time and prioritize it and use it and understand it's valuable, all right? All right. One more thing I want all my champions to remember: if you're doing something that you love, you are living exactly how a champion is supposed to live. All right. Keep that in mind. Everybody have a blessed day. And remember, play for value. Most definitely.